What's up, board game people? It's amazing that every week we can have a news video. What a time to be in the hobby. So much change, innovation, and in some cases, reintroduction happening. Let's dive in and see what's going on. Live on Crowdfunding now, we have Tanares Adventures entering the last hours of its campaign, and they've introduced an epic Phoenix boss and miniature to the game. They're sitting at about 1.3 million at the time of funding and racing towards the final few stretch goals. Also on Kickstarter, Luddite has funded, and the more I see of this game, the more excited I am for it. It's a simple concept, executed beautifully, and tied into their universe expertly. Check it out. Mordred from Simon is almost at the last week of its campaign already. Gotta keep that FOMO pumping, I guess. And it sits just shy of 300,000 in funding. The campaign has the normal slew of Kickstarter exclusives, and they've just started rolling out the add-ons. I'm sure there's more to come. Shadows of Brimstone, the Lost Tomb of Kahmuntet, and the Hell Train is doing quite well, and it looks to break the $1 million mark soon. There's an immense amount of value hidden in their Kickstarter offering, making Kickstarter the best place to buy in. You get the content years ahead of retail, and those exclusives are truly hard to find on the secondary market. Sword and Sorcery Abyssal Legends has a little over a week remaining, and they've done something interesting with their social unlocks. They've unlocked some STL files for 3D markers for locations and begin areas. This won't be everyone's cup of tea, but it's interesting to see. Over on Gamefound, Quatro City's reprint and exclusive scenario is getting close to funding with 3 weeks remaining. This is an excellent puzzle combined with the hidden objects and clues game. Planet Unknown Supermoon expansion and deluxe reprint has a little over a week remaining and never seemed to bother getting around to those stretch goals. Now, on to the news. Dungeons & Lasers 5 is moving right along with their post-campaign plans. Rapid delivery pledges have already been delivered in the majority of cases. This update, they're showing off one big bad reptile and a bunch of miniatures that came jam-packed with a bag full of accessories. The amount of accessories for these reminds me of Oathsworn. They also remind us that the next Dungeons & Lasers Caves campaign is quickly approaching. Barring rail yard or custom delays, the Gambler's Chest for Kingdom Death Monster will be shipping to backers in August. The Gambler's Chest is huge, and as is the trend lately, they're splitting the difference between themselves and the backers. You'll need to pay additional shipping to get your Gambler's Chest. Prices seem about spot on for the size of the beast, but it makes it no easier to bear. They truly believe that this is the best expansion for the game yet, allowing them to fully realize the ambition they had and to set up all of the new content to come. A production prototype for Skyrise has arrived at Roxley, and they're sharing their unboxing video with us this week. I'll withhold judgment on the 3D islands until I see if the wash is any better quality than what we've seen on the buildings. It's nice to finally get a look inside the box, though. Skyrise is almost a reality. Dungeons of Doria is officially on the BGG Spiel preview list. This should drum up some good business for the game, and Victor even let it slip that it would make funding expansions a bit easier too. The game is mid-production, and we're seeing some slight color corrections on the standee bases to bring them away from the neon colors and muting them just a bit. Also, several version 2.2 files have been added to the print and play section. This includes all 4 digital campaigns, door event cards, and the boss monster deck. Flyo seems to be having some issues with fulfillment for the Vampire Masquerade chapters. They're apologizing and explaining that they're still learning and growing. German copies have been tangled up in customs hold while specific taxes are figured out. This should clear soon with no additional cost to the backers. You should see those trackers update automatically in the next week or so. They also have an updated rulebook with all of the collected errata. The new version is available in English with French coming very soon. Tanares is back with a shipping update. The US and Canada should have replacements sent out within a month. The EU only has 120 orders left to ship out and should be done by the end of next week. In Asia, VFI is delivering to all countries. In Australia, games should get moving soon, and in Brazil, the games are in customs. For Japanese backers, you'll get yours from Arclight soon. If you want an English copy, you need to email them. The player guide for Tanares RPG has been getting great feedback. They're still collecting that feedback, so if you see a mistake or an issue with it, let them know. Finally, the Tanares Ultimate project has added an epic Phoenix to the campaign, and there's a deluxe returning backers pledge that grabs you pretty much everything you could want. Production has begun for Earth Under Siege Flashpoint. Minis are on the line right now, but it seems the production will not finish until November. This means the games will ship in December and deliver in the new year. Testing is ongoing, but printed materials will be due at the manufacturer soon. Game balance is feeling good, and testing and tweaking is happening daily. Middara pushed out an update outlining the new Lo-Fi Nightingale resin mini set. This will include the miniature, adventurer card, art card, 2 new item cards, and 1 mini initiative card. These have become available on July 21st on their website. This is only the beginning though. They seem to have more up their sleeves that will be happening over the summer. Wave 1 production hit a small bump in the road, and delivery is looking more like the end of August currently. The factory is determined to get Wave 2 shipped this year. The holdup is from ongoing development and tweaking of Act 2 and 3. Resin kits will ship at the end of August. This week we got the summer update for Malhya, which sadly is announcing a delay due to the sheer amount of content and the challenges of translating it. The 13 booklets have swelled to over 750 pages. Balancing tests also led to some rewrites that in turn created some layout problems. All said and done, it's a substantial delay, and they won't announce any timeframes just yet. Hopefully it won't be too long. Good news is we got a peek at the white box samples for the game. While much less exciting than production proofs, we can get an idea of the massive side of the box, and we get a peek at the miniatures in their trays. The pledge manager for Heroes of Might and Magic 3 continues on. About 25% of pledges still need to be locked. The game was seen live at the CD Action Expo, along with the Battlefield expansion. This update gives us a few art book teasers and a good look at the big box. The big box looks quite impressive, and while the design looks like it has some lid lift that might irk some, I think it makes it look like it's sitting on a little plinth, which is kind of cool. Hero Quest Rise of the Dreadmoon Quest Pack is available at retailers now. You're challenged to free Elathorn from the clutches of Zargon. This adventure includes 10 quests, 29 miniatures, and full-color tiles. This is an expansion that requires the Hero Quest core to play. Fantasy Flight is releasing their Gen Con 2023 featured enhanced scenario, the blob that ate everything for the Arkham Horror card game, for free as a print and play. This scenario comes with a new investigator, Susie, better known as Subject 5U-21. This expands the original blob scenario by adding 2 new encounter sets, new monsters, new story cards, and more. This will become available on their website 1 week after Gen Con. Also from Fantasy Flight, the Arkham Horror card game, the Circle Undone campaign expansion is now available at retail. This expansion combines the original Circle Undone campaign and scenario content from the 4th cycle of expansions. Topping Warhammer news for the week, the previews from the Battle of Oghram stream are in. The Tyranid have claimed victory and swept over the planet like a scourge. The original Gene Stealers will be getting a facelift, and they're looking way more appropriate and menacing for 10th edition. We'll be getting new push-fit squads of Termagants and Hormagaunts to flood the battlefield with. A new line of Lictor bioforms have been spotted, and these are truly going to give some opponents nightmares. We got new living artillery in the form of the new Biovore and Pyrovore. And a pair of new Apex Predators have entered the battlefield with the introduction of the Norn Emissary and the Norn Assimilator. These Goliaths are going to tower over the forces of the Hive Mind and leave mayhem in their wake. So it was a bit lighter of a week on news, but the industry is still just holding its breath, waiting for all the new announcements that will happen at Gen Con coming up the first week in August. Sadly, I've had to cancel my plans to attend this year, but I'll definitely try again next year. Coming up later this week, I have a long overdue month in review and a hobby-centric video showing off how to make storage for magnetized miniatures, and possibly more. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and hitting that like button. It helps our little channel grow, and it gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling that I really need right now. Thanks to everyone watching, commenting, and supporting the channel. Have a great week, and we'll talk soon.